target, ready to fire! Oh my god, the tracks have jammed!
Hello everyone, I'm Johnny, and today we're taking a look at Dominion Tank Police Episode 2, or Act 2. This is a silly and fun episode before the series takes a bit of a deeper turn, if I recall correctly. Anyway, let's check it out. First, let's start out with some more love for the world building and aesthetics in Tank Police. The animation is excellent in this series for being a somewhat overlooked anime. Cityscape shots are always fantastic and quite different from other futuristic dystopian worlds. No neon cityscape full of advertisements here, but rather a more biological, sickly-looking city. Check out this one building belching out pollution. The city spreads out almost like coral, again giving it that living or dying feeling. I also want to give some attention to the shadow work in this episode, because these details fly by and can be easily overlooked. But someone put a ton of effort into creating and animating these details. Take this entrance from Tank Commander Charles Brenton. His shadow enters first for 2 or 3 seconds before he does. What a great entry. Speaking of creative entrances and exits, let's appreciate how the Tank Police scramble in this episode. Love these ready-to-action lines, grounded in the present, akin to a fire pole, but still very much futuristic. These are likely my second favorite creative device in this episode. Everyone's favorite device, and the one that everyone remembers from the series, will come shortly later. First, the Tank Police, impetuous as ever, are baited into a chase when Baku and the Puma sisters attack the police station. Their hope is to effectively disable the Tank Police before they raid a hospital laboratory to complete their mission from the first episode. In this episode, Baku and the Puma sisters are armed with 2 upgraded or inspired from British heavy World War I era tanks. These would be considered male World War I British tanks, as they have something resembling the original 6-pounder guns on their sides. The female versions only had machine guns. Baku of course complains such a tank won't stand up against the tanks of the Tank Police, but they have a secret weapon known as the Ultimate Deterrent, which should disable the Tank Police, should they be dumb enough to fall for it. The Tank Police of course chase Baku with every tank in their fleet, and when they first detect the strange weapon, they view it as harmless, but it isn't. The weapon here is known as the Erectococky, of course. Now, I like a wiener joke as much as anyone, but I've never considered how this could be integrated into an anti-tank mine. So this scene definitely catches everyone off guard I've ever talked to, and provides for a solid laugh. As stupid as it is, it's universally one of the most memorable scenes in the whole series. Naturally, the scene lends itself to at least half a dozen jokes, and here are a couple.
Suppose you need a rest after that.
I'll show you who needs a rest.
Don't worry, they're programmed to deflate back down once they've done their job. But be careful, because it's quite simple to reactivate them. They can jump up anytime.
You can keep them down with a nice cold shower.
But you also can't feel sorry for the Tank Police falling into the trap. The Tank Police are their usual selves. Let's destroy half the city to catch the bad guys. The Tank Police's recklessness is an ongoing theme of the show. One tank even manages to catch some air and crashes right through the walls of an arcology. When Baku and the Puma sisters make it to the hospital, they find the one remaining Tank Police tank in the city guarding it. This will highlight again the reoccurring theme of how destructive the Tank Police are, and how they perfectly underscore the heavily armed police deterrence fallacy. This police officer with a superior tank decides to retreat through the walls of the hospital rather than engage an inferior tank on his own. Much good tanks are if the force is reluctant to use them in anything other than an all-or-nothing situation. But one of the best character development moments in the episode is that after Charles Brenton's tank is disabled, he decides to still chase Baku down on foot, leading the way for his men. Brenton may not have a sense of civic duty, but he has a deep sense of pride. Ultimately, it's Leona with her custom-built miniature tank that links up with Brenton and ends up catching up with Baku and the Puma sisters for a showdown. At the end of the episode, you find out that it was Greenpeace, or a futuristic version thereof, that hired Baku, and the plot should thicken in future episodes. Alright, I'm Johnny. Thanks for watching. Hopefully everyone knows of a new hazard to watch out for now while they're driving. Anyway, do check out the series. It's really great, well worth watching. Anyway, if you want to support the channel, do like or subscribe and all that stuff. But most importantly, do have a nice rest of your day.